Hello, and welcome to another Tending Tuesday. As is our tradition, I want to welcome back all of you that have been with us on Tending Tuesday for weeks, months, now even years. And two, I want to extend a warm welcome to those that are joining for the very first time. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic we all know of, right? We all experience. I want to talk about love. And we know love in all kinds of ways. We know love of person. We know love of a partner. We know love when it visits in family life. We know love of community. We know love when it presents itself in music or painting. We know love of community. There's many forms that love takes. And yet, today, in addition, what I'd like to share with you is an experience of love's desire. What it means when love moves into something in addition, right? Into a quality of deep belonging. Deep belonging. Love's desire for deep belonging. Now, I was working with somebody just the other day, and they were having a hard time in life because in addition to loving something or somebody, we fall out of love of people, or we experience heartbreak and love going awry. We also feel a sense of that horrible experience of feeling out of touch, out of relationship, out of love with ourselves. Those times, the dark nights of the soul. Well, we're in that season where people are talking about love and the holiday is offered around a kind of love. And there's just a story, a different story that I want to share with you. And that is to really find love, to renew love from the inside out, in addition to caring for, cultivating, tending our personal relationships. There's something more. Love seeks that quality, that experience of belonging. We all know that place. When we're part of a small community of people that care about us and we care for them, we feel supported. We feel the eros in the community tending to us. Yes, we feel that quality of love. The same thing is true in a variety of contexts. It's that sense of belonging to a community of people that have our heart's interest in mind. They hold us. They tend to us. Now the question becomes, how do we keep that kind of love alive, particularly when it's hard? And two, when life is going well, how do we sustain that capacity to belong to something deeper still? The word soul, to belong to the figures, the persons, to the community of soul mates. Now for me, that is a kind of deep belonging. Yeah. For me in the morning, it's so important. When I get up, I work with my dreams, I do, and I also spend a bit of time dialoguing in a kind of active imagination that I've evolved for myself over the years, self-care. And yet there's something else that I want to share with you that I've talked about in a number of different venues, and that is a kind of bringing myself to a community, not of the outside, but a community of figures that live in the innermost, in the realms of soul, psyche, deep imagination, those figures. Now you might be saying, yeah, I know, but when I go there, some of those figures are friendly, caring, supportive, and others, they're threatening, dangerous, not appealing, difficult. Well, let me offer an idea, because I think it's so helpful in life to cultivate an ongoing relationship with the community of figures that are figures of the internal world. They are forever, and to the extent that we bring ourselves to them, they extend themselves back to us. Even when things go awry out here, to have the capacity to reconnect, to experience that deep belonging to the caring figures of soul and psyche, it changes life. It makes such a difference, particularly when things are hard, as I just said. Okay? So there's lots of ways of doing that. I'm going to share one with you, and that is taking some time and first separating from the busyness, the mania of awake life. Pause. Settle. Breathe deeply. Reconnect to body, roots from feet into ground. Presence. Here now. Here now. And then with eyes closed, and the inner sight, insight. And allow the figures that are moving through, the figures that are journeying now, to simply move by and notice who's journeying now. Maybe an image from a dream, maybe a figure that you've held close for years, a supportive figure. It might be a mentor, yes? And two, it may be a new visitation. Yes, figures that are threatening, difficult, they will come, they will. And two, others. Now, once that begins to happen, notice those figures in particular that you can imagine being part of an inner community that you'll deepen relationship with. And of course, as you deepen relationship with them, they too open and present their stories back to you. Yeah. And when they are in community, and that's what I'm thinking about here, they will interact with one another. Yes, it's as if we are in a community of figures, inner figures. Yes, there's a sense of deep belonging. These soul companions actually connect, relate with one another, and as they do, we have the capacity to be part of that community. Love yearns for deep belonging. There's lots of ways of belonging in the world that is external. There is an extraordinary way of cultivating a quality of deep belonging to the figures of psyche, of soul, the inner worlds. When that happens, in my direct experience and with the people, so many people I've worked with, love's desire is met. Deep belonging is held. There's a vivification, I would say, of life purpose. Even when we're lost, when we have that experience of being held in community, being part of a community, interacting in a community, the sense of who we are and who we're becoming really opens up much more easily. We breathe more deeply, our body relaxes, we don't feel so alone nor separate. We have a sense of, yes, here now, in relationship to the community of figures that have presence and a sense of being right placed with one another, and in turn, we being right placed in the community. Love's desire, the sense of deep belonging. Okay. Well, just one more thing. It's coming to the day next week. People call it Valentine's Day, and every culture has its version and iteration of a day like that, where we celebrate Eros in a particular way. Each inflection is different culture to culture. Let me offer you an idea. As we make the gesture to a person or the persons or a community that we have heartfelt feelings for, right before making gesture, yes, take that moment, turn 180, and connect with the figures of soul, of psyche. Experience that sense of belonging, deep belonging. From that place, then allow the eros, the love that moves through to come forward and be expressed. Okay? Alrighty. Be well. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.